Greetings and welcome to yet another episode right here at Triple M Reality. My name is Mary Magdalene Mukoya, making it Triple M. Have you been good? Well, I bless the Lord because it has been weeks after weeks after weeks, and we bless God for it is yet another week, another day, another life, and another topic, another chance for you and I to have a relationship. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is the place where I do what? Drum rolls. Why do I have a drum roll for today? Because our topic is rather interesting. Can I tell you? Our topic for today is about shadows. I know you're wondering, shadows. Do shadows exist? Do you want to know? I know you've already told yourself an answer. You're saying shadows exist. Well, allow me to confuse you but a little with all wisdom. Shadows do not exist. Shadows are created. Am I making sense? Does the sun exist? Yes, it does. Does the moon exist? Yes, it does. Does the shadow exist? No, it doesn't. It is created when light is obstructed in some way. Some sort of an object is placed in between the path of a light. Like if I would do this, I am sure you are able to see a bit of shadows. I don't know. Somewhere maybe at the background or something. But if you put up or you place an object maybe somewhere along the line, the path of light, there you can be able to see there is a shadow creation. You can see that shadow under my arm, around my chest area, because I have obstructed the light a little bit. That then makes a shadow to exist. But in the real sense, when you look at me, there is no shadow because shadows were not created. They exist out of the creation that there is. Do you understand? Well, today in our channel, this particular channel, I have been telling us, and allow me to repeat, this is a channel where we speak about anything, everything matters, life, health, wealth, fashion, name it, and I spell it. Yes, and in this aspect of shadow, it's about the shadows in our lives. Do you experience shadows in your life? Or rather, do shadows exist in our lives? Yes, shadows exist in one way or the other. And how do I mean? Shadows are created by the emotional aspects of our lives, the different emotional angles that affect our day-to-day living, our day-to-day life, our day-to-day existence and cohabitance and coexistence with fellow human beings and nature, of course. Today, many people are suffering either because of stress, anxiety, depression, anger, inferiority. I mean, all sorts of situations. It could be even sadness. Because I will tell you something. We cannot say that there is a shadow in my life that is positive. Shadow is something negative, something, an obstruction. And that is why I started out by slightly defining or giving us a layman's understanding of what a shadow is. An obstruction. An obstruction is something that either cuts completely or distracts a little or is a blockage at some way. Something that is not clear, that is not too transparent. It is opaque. And that means it's a negative aspect that is trying to force itself in our lives. And when you have a shadow in your life, certain aspects of your life also get affected. That one, you either become defensive, you become very judgmental, you resist change totally, or you start to be the manipulator. You become manipulative with others, and then you also become aggressive. There's two ways of being aggressive. Aggressiveness can be positive or negative. And I say positive in the sense of when you're in the field, or you're working in a certain project or certain business, or you're following your dreams, you want to pursue your dreams, you want to achieve your dreams, you keep knocking at every door, every studio, or every office, just to get to put up your project together, or get a job position or something. You become aggressive in a way, but that is positive energy. But there is this other aggressiveness when you have a shadow in your life that really pulls you away from the reality of something good can come out of a matter or an issue. You could be going through bullying phase. You could be going through the sadness, the stress, and the angers and the depression stages. You become rather aggressive that you're not able to handle a matter with some sort of lightness. You take it head on, you take it by the bullhorn, you want to just fight it out, deal with it howsoever, as long as you just get it out of your way. How do you even become a manipulator? A manipulating person is someone who takes advantage of the victims, someone who sees that there's a sort of weakness in this person, and you want to really take advantage of that person or take advantage of that situation so that your prowessness or your power can be seen or felt in an environment. It could be even your siblings at home. It could be your bosses at work. It could be your pastors in your church, or the leaders appointed in that church, or your fellow employees who are team leaders or supervisors in a department in your working environment. So you see a situation or a weakness or a loophole somewhere where you can use your strength, and you really take advantage. And let me tell you, if you thought that that's a good thing, well, that's a very weak thing, because you have a shadow behind you. You have a shadow that is driving you to showcase your prowessness, to showcase your power, that you take up your charge and you want to manipulate a situation or manipulate people, manipulate victims, tampering with their self-esteem, tampering with their inferiority complexes, bringing it about that it affects humans. And let me tell you, it does not make you a bigger person when you want to dim a victim's life, when you want to dim a person's light, thinking that you're becoming great. Tell you what, truth be called, call a spade a spade, you are actually the weaker party in the whole setup. Do you know that when you're also having shadows, I have already said, you become defensive. You don't want to be at a situation where you're just being corrected. Someone is just talking to you, or someone is discussing something about you. Okay, nobody loves such situations or scenarios. But then again, you always feel like you're being attacked. And you know, most of the times you're either right because of self-righteousness, or because it is actually just right. Because why would people be discussing about you? Why is there a rumor being created about you? Yes? So you're there seated and wondering, why would someone be discussing about me? Why is this person approaching me, wanting to correct me at this juncture? So you become very defensive. You want to be very protective of your heart, or of your thoughts, or of your emotions. But because we do not understand that there is already a shadow that has been created, that now you're beginning to build a wall that will separate you or guard you. Tell you what, shadows in the natural essence of light has 3 stages. There is the umbra, there is the penumbra, and there is the atumbra. But because we are not discussing about the stages of light and the shadows of light, we are discussing about the shadows of life. I want to put it in a way that can make us understand, so that when you wake up every day, when you're doing something in your life, there is a purpose attached, there is a meaning attached to your day-to-day living. So that we cut and shed more light. Shedding more light and allowing more light to come in, that is the umbra. That is the place where you allow yourself to be less defensive, to be more accepting. Yes, to be less defensive and to be more accepting. Then there is a penumbra angle side of it, where yes, there is an obstruction. You're starting to feel that manipulation. You're being a victim all the time. You're gaining the strength to be very aggressive, to justify a situation, but you want to move past that phase, because there's a little bit of a light, there's a little bit of hope, because you are able to realize, you're realizing it is coming. There is something blocking your path, but down there, or at the edge there, or at the edge here, or somewhere up here, there's a little bit of light, a little bit of hope. So you're walking past the penumbra stage and being at a place where you refuse to be a victim and start to act victorious. You step up into a matter and change the situation. Like it is said, when you are given a lemon, make a lemonade out of it. You do not die or wallow in anger or stress or depression. I know it is difficult, but there is a light at the end of a tunnel. And the first things first is to accept. Yes, is to accept. Do you know that when you are at a stage where now you're resisting change, that's the atumbra stage. You before you even conform to something, you're not seeing the benefit of it. How is it going to affect me? How is it going to change my situation? How is it going to affect my relationship, so that I can see that there is hope here? Already trust has been broken. Already this love just feels like liking and more of a hatred situation. You're not sure. The measure of hate and balance are equal. Nothing is weightier to the other. And the biggest room life has offered to us is that room called change. Because it is so hard, but yet again so beautiful. When we accept change, it is the best place to be at, because now you get a whole molding, a whole transformation, and a whole confirmation. You become conformed. You become transformed. Your mind is renewed. Your body, your strength, your heart is remolded. Your strength is revived. You start to see things in a different light. And this is the part where I want to focus the most when it comes to matters shadows. You're in a relationship, but because you feel that you are afraid to start up another relationship, you're ready to wallow being a punching bag in your relationship, because this man is giving you all the money that you need, probably bought and packed you cars there. He's bought you land, bought you a house. Your children are going to the best schools for greater education, but in your heart you have no sort of peace, because you are in a shadow of these things that are blinding you from what you can call real happiness, what you can call peace. Peace is very expensive, and you can never even buy peace in any shop, any kiosk, anywhere. When you're admitted in a hospital, maybe because of lack of oxygen, we pay for oxygen. That ventilator is very costly. And yet when our Creator created all of us, oxygen is free. We breathe it. It has been polluted with a lot of fumes and dirt. But when you get to a hospital, it is charged. It is very expensive. And because of the technologies that has been used, the creation of what contains this oxygen, and the machines and the ventilator tubes that are able to go down through your nostrils or into your mouth to be able to get your system circulating the oxygen. But have you gone to a hospital and bought peace? Have you ever visited any hospital and you are told the price of peace is 2,000, 20,000? Or, have you ever seen a price tag for peace? Peace is very expensive, but priceless at the same time. I say very expensive because it costs you your heart, it costs you your emotions, it costs you your energy, it drains you. It's a whole commitment to yourself. And it does not take another person and another person to give you peace. Peace is earned by you. And you can only get it when you step out of the shadows that we are hiding under, or beneath, or beside, or behind. You want to be in a working environment, but the environment is so toxic. You want to be in a peaceful family, but the family is so toxic. You want to be in a church where you can call a family, but it is so toxic. The vulgar, the mouth, the diarrhea of speech and the action is too much, too toxic. And then because you're thinking this pastor is my friend, this boss is my friend, this brother or sister or this parent is my friend, you want to stay on, yet it is a thing that is not permanently rooted there. Your legs are not rooted there. They are not planted. In fact, they are not cemented or drilled there. You just need to make up your mind, pick up your pieces, and go. Detachment does not mean that you have sinned. Detachment does not mean that you have insulted anybody. Detachment truly just means letting go and letting God, letting go and gaining peace. If you didn't have a God in you, where is peace coming from? If you detached yourself from all this toxicity that there exists in our homes, in relationships, in churches, work environments, if you detach yourself, won't you have peace? Won't you be in a place where you have accepted this situation has been there, but I am taking me, loving me, taking this step, gaining my faith, gaining my peace, gaining my freedom? Did you know minus a shadow equals freedom? You start to even obtain favor. Favor in the sense of you have accepted a situation has come, a situation shall pass. I am stepping over this situation and I am moving forward. When you're moving forward, you're only attracting a positive aura. Even you're exuding a positive smell, which attracts positive people, a positive environment. The day even feels brighter because it is positive. It's a positive energy. You're stepping out of the shadow into light. There is nothing negative about light, but there's a lot that is negative about darkness and shadows. Shadows which are created do not exist. In the Bible, even when the word began, when human race started to exist at Adam and Eve, did they know of what stress is? Did they know of what shadows is? Depression, freedom? They just existed naturally, peacefully, until, of course, when the snake came and lied to Eva that she ate the fruit of the forbidden tree and started to realize, oh my goodness, I am naked, and started to think of leaves. Adam also felt naked, started to think of leaves to cover themselves. And you see, by the time you're covering yourself, had Eve not been deceived, that she also deceived her husband or the man created by her side, today we would not be having these stories of shadows. Would we be walking naked? I don't know, but maybe. See? And you can imagine you're born naked. When you land, you're covered with shawls and all these, and then diapers come on. Then from there you get onsies, and the next thing you're getting rompers, and the next thing you're either getting trousers or dresses, depending on the gender that you take. You know, we get clothed, we grow up, start to know the difference of bad and good, the pain and the joy. And then while you're interacting with people as you keep growing, socializing and mingling and bonding and getting peer pressure, affections here and there, wrong notions, wrong crowds, right positive energy, right people. But then again, along the way, something starts to obstruct your path. Something starts to obstruct the way you think, to obstruct the way you see life, the way you see issues, the way you solve matters. But this is the day when I am talking to you and I, my brother, sister, parents out here, guardians, counselors. We need to tell each other, tell ourselves, and who we are guiding to get out of that cocoon, hiding behind people, hiding behind a face, an emotion, or an image. Because then you are not free to live a life. You're not free to think on your own. You're not free to make a decision. You're not free to just exist and do life without being scared, without being intimidated, without suffering the inferiority complexes, without having your esteem being tampered with. Something strange that is even happening in our today's society. And you see, that is how it has come to even affect our relationships and marriages. Because we live in shadows. We live in shadows. On the one side of life, I would never accept something called polygamy or polyandry or all that. Or even same-sex marriages and relationships. Because if you accept yourself, know the purpose as to why you were created on this earth for, your mission on this earth life, you will step out of the shadows and step out of the unknown and into the great unknown, who is the greater being who created you and I for a season, a mission, a reason, and a purpose that only he that has assigned it into your life can assist you to fulfill, can assist I to fulfill. And probably my season has just about arrived when I get to this channel and speak to us and tell us the reality of life, that you need to open your eyes, open your heart, open your mind, and release yourself from shadows of fake relationships, fake environment, fake employment environments, fake families, fake anything that is just wrong. Because right now you're fully grown, you're able to understand. Because for you to be watching this channel, it means you have an understanding. But somewhere you are hiding behind something. A wardrobe somewhere. You think that these clothes, as you keep dressing them, you look beautiful, you're slaying, you're looking so handsome and all glowing. But deep inside, you're hurting so badly. Deep inside, something is piercing you. Deep inside, something is really pushing you. And that is how people have gotten to kill themselves. People have allowed the spirit, the blood spirit, to take over. You're fighting each other, you're fighting your families, you're fighting your friends. To have a serious relationship is difficult. To have a real friend in your life is difficult. And you'll hear a few people even saying, I don't have friends. Who do you have? I just have colleagues that I work with. There is no such a life. No man is an island. Today you may be earning 3 million, billions, and creating all the millions there can be on this earth. But the one thing you can never create is peace. You can never buy it, you can never create it, but you can own it in your own way. When you detach from the shadows and the things that keep discouraging your life. Is it that fake boss, that fake company, that fake pastor, that fake church, that fake family, the toxic environments? You know, the people you relate to and then you start to see them as family. And the next thing, that the people who are actually killing you and breaking you every day. And I say this in the sense of they're wasting your time. They're wasting your resources. They're not building you, not encouraging your brain, not even sharpening your brain. It is said that it takes two to tangle. If these two are not tangling, then you're dragging each other down. And you don't need such a mess in your life. You don't need such a shadow in your life. If you're in a relationship and you're telling yourself, where is this going? You're doubting yourself, beating yourself so hard and wondering, where am I going with this relationship? Where is it taking me? How is it satisfying me? How do I feel about it? Let me tell you, if you have these million questions in a relationship which you're in, please step out. Allow yourselves not to be time wasters of each other. Because I want a person that comes into my life and I'm in a space where I say, I love how I feel each and every day. I am in a space where I am working and I keep saying, I love my job. I'm not encouraging myself every day so that I can keep seeing this day better. I feel it naturally and I know it honestly that this is a good working environment. I love my working space. I love my colleagues. I love the way my brain is growing. I love the way I'm giving out my skill, my talent. I'm loving the way I'm also growing with the company. You know, being in a place where you're free to expel your heart easily. Share your gift, share your talent, share your skill, embrace new knowledge, embrace new technology. That means you're out of a shadow. Nothing is obstructing your way. Nothing is obstructing your vision. Nothing is obstructing your thinking. I loved how I was taught in a service the other day, in a service that I belong to, a place I call home, a church I call home. Dreams die with us. Dreams die with us. And my understanding was, truly, I have a dream of being one of the, let me use an example. Yeah, let me just use an example of myself. I have a dream of one day being one of the greatest legendary musicians there has been. Like the legends that we have currently in the world. When I die, allow me to use an example of the late Whitney. When you die, you go with your dream. When I die, I go with my dream. When she died, she went with her dream. Yes, she has a daughter. Yes, she has relatives and friends, people who can imitate how she sings, perhaps even dress like she did, do her hair as she did. Talking about the late Whitney, because I loved her. I used to look up to her and how she sings. And I can actually belt vocals as she did. But when she went away, sadly, she went with her dream. I didn't take up her dream. I have to now walk into my vision or into my dream the way I know it how. And when I go, my daughter may take up her own dream, which is also music. But of course, our angles will never be the same. My angle can never be like Whitney, the late Whitney. Her angle cannot be like her mommy's. But there is something called a vision. A vision lives and even outlives. A vision lives and even outlives. A vision does not die. And this is the encouragement that I have for us. Shadows die. Shadows are things you can kill, you can break off from. Anxieties and tensions and stresses and depressions, these are all under the umbrella called a shadow, and they can be broken. Don't feel held up. Don't feel tied up. Don't feel all choked up, because you can get up. You can stand up. You can stand up. Stand right. Start again. Rebuild yourself. Separate yourself from that is all negative and start to bring in positive energy with yourself. Because with positive energy comes in vision. And vision is something now that you pass on. You pass on. When I leave Earth, I will leave back a legacy which either my son or my daughter will take up. Take up and keep carrying and living that legacy and living that vision. And tell you what, vision is not man-made. Vision is God-made. And the vision will also be another topic. But vision, being that it is God-made, God sustains it. That even if I go, there is a vision called music, that even if how many artists go, music lives on. It outlives you. But when you die in a dream that you're a musician and you want to be this and that and do this and that, when you die, that dream is buried. Another person comes with another dream, another angle, another twist. They take up another dream. But when they go with it. But a vision stays on because it is birthed from the spiritual realm to us. And it lives on, whether you go or continue. It is taken up by your child, children, siblings, friends, as long as they believe and are riding in the same vision as you. A same vision that is ordained, orchestrated from above by God. So step out, step out, step up and step out of all this negativity, this shadow, and take up the light. Embrace yourself once again. Say, I love Mary Magdalene Mukoya. I am no longer distracted. I am no longer obstructed. I am no longer frustrated. I am no longer seeing myself ugly. I am no longer incapacitated. I am no longer inferior. I am no longer this. I am no longer that. Anything negative, and take up all the positivities. I am Mary Magdalene. I am beautiful. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. My dreams will succeed. I walk in the vision of God and it shall succeed. My life is precious. My life is irreplaceable. Until he says he is done, I must fulfill his purpose. Walk tall. I don't need to die in this relationship and it is frustrating me. I need my peace. I cannot buy it from a ventilator or a peace later. I do not have any gadget that will give me peace except him, and I make the decision to get and step into peace. Step out of the shadows. Step out of the toxicity. Step out of the poor working environment. Step out of those shadows and choose to walk in light. Do you have a need? Are you walking through a situation or a matter that you need someone to walk with you through? Well, I am here, and that is why Triple M Reality is a channel that allows us to just interact, speak, and of course, by the guidance of God, I will be able to be talking to us about matters and discussing, finding solutions, helping us to walk life. You walk with me as I walk with you. So feel free to leave a comment, a topic, a question right there. Feel free to tag along a friend or two, subscribe, share, follow me on Triple M Reality. I'm telling you, there is so much to go on for. And I am here for us. I am here for us. This is a need that I needed to tell somebody today, because I know someone out there needed to hear this today. And that is why I'm here for us. So thank you so much for checking in. Thank you so much for always staying tuned and subscribing. This is, of course, Triple M Reality, where we keep it real, live, and of course, exclusive, candidly open as well. So don't be discouraged about a life matter. We are here. I am here. Let's talk, let's interact, and let's find solutions and live a happy, simple life. So God bless you, and allow me to also tell you, if you wanna be somebody, if you wanna go somewhere, you better wake up and pay attention. So God bless you and take care, and remember, you can only be positive if you walk in the light. Keep off the shadows, keep off negative energy, and walk into light. God bless you and take care. See you next time. Ta-ta!